The United States and China have agreed to resume high-level trade negotiations next week in Malaysia, marking a potential de-escalation after President Donald Trump threatened to impose devastating 100% tariffs on Chinese goods earlier this week. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Chinese Vice Premier He Lifeng held what both sides described as frank and detailed discussions during a video call Friday evening. The two officials agreed to meet in person next week to prepare for a crucial summit between Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping, scheduled for the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation meeting in South Korea on October 31st to November 1st. Trump's softened stance on unsustainable tariffs. Trump's decision to pursue dialogue represents a notable shift from his combative stance earlier this week. On October 10th, the president announced plans to impose an additional 100% tariff on all Chinese imports effective November 1st, in response to China's expanded export controls on rare earth minerals announced October 9th. However, in a Fox Business interview released Friday, Trump admitted the tariff threat was not sustainable, while still blaming Beijing for forcing his hand. "It's not sustainable, but that's what the number is. They forced me to do that." The president confirmed he would proceed with his planned meeting with Xi in South Korea, describing their relationship positively despite the tensions. "I think we're going to be fine with China, but we have to have a fair deal," Trump told reporters at the White House. Rare earth dispute triggers latest escalation. The current crisis stems from China's October 9th decision to dramatically expand export controls on rare earth elements, adding 5 new minerals to restrictions and requiring foreign companies to obtain licenses for products containing Chinese rare earth materials. China dominates global production of these critical materials, controlling about 60% of mining and 90% of processing. These elements are essential for manufacturing everything from smartphones and electric vehicles to military equipment, including F-35 fighter jets and guided missiles. U.S. officials, including Bessent and Trade Representative Jameson Greer, condemn the restrictions as a threat to global supply chains. The World Trade Organization has urged both nations to de-escalate tensions, warning that prolonged economic conflict between the world's two largest economies could reduce global output by 7% over the long term. Meanwhile, G7 finance ministers have agreed to coordinate their response to China's export controls and work on diversifying supply chains away from Chinese dependence. The upcoming Malaysia talks represent the 5th round of bilateral negotiations between Bessent and He, following previous meetings in Madrid, Stockholm, London, and Geneva. Their discussions aim to prevent the expiration of a current tariff truce scheduled for November 10th, which had reduced duties from triple-digit levels imposed earlier this year.